you've been doing everything right, moving your body more, eating healthy food, and you still feel like your body is working against you, you're not alone. In fact, you're not broken. I'm a functional nutritionist, and today we're going to talk about what is happening in your body during perimenopause and what you can do about it. If you're interested, keep watching. So what's happening during perimenopause and menopause? Our bodies are producing less estrogen, less progesterone, and they're slowly coming down, sometimes fast. And all of that imbalance is going to affect our insulin sensitivity. That means that we can become insulin resistant or unable to handle as much sugar as we used to. That may lead to weight gain and also feelings of fatigue. Number two is that stress goes up and we're not as resilient as we used to be. Cortisol goes up, and cortisol is the stress hormone. And that specific hormone leads to belly fat and, again, insulin insensitivity. That means that you are insulin resistant. Your doctor may tell you that you are pre-diabetic or diabetic or getting close to having abnormal blood sugar balance. And all of these things, again, are affecting our stress, are affecting all of our symptoms, our ability to sleep, and our ability to have the life that we used to have. Number three is that we are losing muscle mass very fast, about 1 to 2% a year. But when you figure that in 10 years, that's 10 to 20% of our muscle mass, that is a lot of muscle that we're losing. And so we're losing strength, and we're also losing the ability to lose weight, because now all of that muscle is turning to fat. We become, say the least, weak, unable to pick ourselves up off the floor, or unable to keep ourselves from falling. If we trip, we're not able to catch ourselves. So that's very important to understand, that muscle mass goes down in perimenopause and menopause, and it continues on its decline during that time for the rest of our lives as women. So we need to get into building muscle and make sure that we take this very seriously. When I was a young person, I was a runner, and I never really thought about pushing weights or lifting weights or doing anything to build muscle mass, because that was not my issue. I was not interested in doing that. And today I have osteoporosis, and osteoporosis is weakening of the bones, and the bones are held by muscle. So when you build muscle, you protect your bones. And that's so important. So blood sugar imbalance is related to your estrogen and progesterone changing, and also being stressed out is part of that period in the life. Our cortisol is going up. And more often than not, a lot of women, the majority of women, are going to be diagnosed with hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's disease, which is an autoimmune condition from the thyroid. And our thyroid becomes hypoactive. That means that it's not secreting as many hormones as it used to, and these are things that are concerning. It's so important to talk to our doctors about doing the right labs. And when it comes to the thyroid, you want to ask for a full thyroid panel. The full thyroid panel is going to look at not only the thyroid, but it's also the antibodies to make sure that you're not developing an autoimmune condition. So let's talk about what the diet culture is failing women in midlife. What happens is that we talk about going on diets, and these diets are temporary because eventually people fail at staying in a restrictive diet, and whether it's keto or low fat or counting calories. What that does is it makes the person secrete higher levels of cortisol, which again help you with that fat deposit around the middle and the blood sugar going up. So weight loss is temporary, but the weight gain is permanent, because all of that muscle is turning to fat at the same time. And it's very stressful to try to focus on calories. But in reality, what the problem is that most people are relying on caffeine and sugar to keep them awake and to give them the energy, but not eating enough protein, fiber, and healthy fats. We've been told that diet high in fat is bad for us, that eggs are bad for us, and all of these things are not true. What we need to do is we really need to eat real food. And most women in midlife are not eating enough protein. So that would be one great place to start. In fact, I'm going to put in my description, I'm going to link you to my protein guide so that you know exactly how much protein to eat according to your weight and who you are, but especially so that you don't have to go on a diet. Because whether it's a keto diet, a low-fat diet, a calorie-restricted diet, they don't work unless you are working with your hormonal landscape that is specific to you. And it's so important to do that. Otherwise, it backfires. I had a client that came to me and she was about 50 pounds overweight. She wanted to lose weight because her doctor had told her that she had polyps in her colon. She was going to have her gallbladder taken out and she possibly had uterine cancer. So obviously she had had a lifetime of eating foods that were not so healthy and also not moving her body or being conscientious about what she was eating. So she wanted to do this really fast. She restricted all of her calories. She lost about 10 pounds on her own. And then by the time she came to me, she was very frustrated because she had gained all the weight back. And what we did with her was consistent exercise, very slow walking, just at her own pace. She started walking just around the block and then increased it to 2 miles a day. She started walking to work. And additionally, we got together and started talking about eating whole foods, but we focused on her protein intake. After she started eating protein, not only did she feel satiated, she felt like she had no hunger. She started liking vegetables, and because of her walking and everything that she was doing with her movement, she was able to balance her blood sugar. By the time she had her surgery for her uterine cancer, as it turned out, it was encapsulated. She didn't require any chemo or radiation. And when she went back to the gastroenterologist to get her colonoscopy to remove all the polyps they hadn't been able to remove in the previous colonoscopy, they were all gone, completely gone. She had transformed her life. And all we did with her was introduce her to a higher protein diet and more vegetables every day, that fiber and the healthy fats, understanding that healthy fats are not bad for you. Healthy fats are coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, avocados, nuts, and seeds. And all of this comes from nature. That's all we want. It's just natural food, real food to nourish our bodies. And that takes care of everything, because in the body, everything is connected. All of our hormones are connected and they all affect each other. But blood sugar balance is key. So whether you're in menopause or not, keeping your blood sugar under control is so important. So let's talk about what works. The functional nutrition way is to make sure that we're eating enough food, that we're including protein, fiber, and healthy fats at each meal. So whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we're going to eat plenty of protein. We're going to bring in fiber, which comes in the form of plant foods, whether it's green vegetables or other vegetables like legumes, for example, lentils and beans. All of this is going to bring in fiber and not being afraid of healthy fats. Secondly, we're going to build muscle. And the way that we do that is we're going to do resistance training. Resistance training is going to help us process the blood sugar, which, as I said, is the most important thing that you can do for your body and for your metabolism. So it will help you bring down the cortisol level. You'll feel more calm, less stressed out. You will be building muscle and protecting your bones. And that is so important, because balancing your blood sugar is so important, but so is protecting your bones and your overall health. All of these symptoms that you're feeling from menopause come from an imbalance in the body. So we need to eat enough food to support our hormonal balance. So don't go on diets, don't restrict yourself, just eat real food and eat plenty of it. We also need to stabilize our cortisol levels. The way that we do that is we do nervous system regulation, whether it's with breath work or making sure that we go to bed at a decent hour around 10 o'clock at night, get about 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night, preferably 7 or 8, and get enough sunshine in our eyes. That early morning light in the eyes is going to regulate our circadian rhythm. So if you're having trouble sleeping, the best place to start is first thing in the morning, going outside for at least 15 minutes, no sunglasses on, and making sure that that morning light is hitting your eyes, not looking straight into the sun, but just making sure that you are exposed to the morning light. That will do wonders for you, staying off of screens at night and making sure that your lights in your home are down below the horizon or below your eyes, and they're in a subdued kind of a color, so preferably red light. But if you don't have red light, the yellow light, something that is lower in intensity, because we're exposed to so much blue light, and that blue light keeps us up. You're not broken, you've just been given the wrong tools. Midlife is not a metabolic sentence. It's a signal to approach your body with a new level of support, and that's what I'm here to help you do. My name is Monica. I'm a functional nutritionist, and I'm here to help you balance your blood sugar and lead a wonderful life. Look in the description for that free guide I mentioned on protein, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.